Renegades of Long Beach Roller Derby, and you're watching MoonKILL Radio. Woo!
Welcome, people. This is MoonKILL Radio with another edition of What's on the Slab. How you guys doing? Doing great in here. Got another one for you. This is a weird one, man. But I really didn't think about pulling this one out before. But as I was going through some of the stuff, some older stuff before course of this week, this popped in my head, and I said, yeah, you know, why not, man? This is a weird one. But a great one, nonetheless. This is 1994's Blowout Comb by Digable Planets. And what popped in my head about it is to me, in my personal opinion, it is one of those records that, for whatever reason, people are looking at now, which is great. It's awesome. I always thought it was a great record. A lot different from the first one. If anyone knows Digable Planets, of course everyone knows the Cool Like That song, right? Cool Like That, off the first album. And the first album was really, how you say it? It was real funky, but upbeat. Had a lot of upbeat stuff going on. There was a lot of funk tracks, like samples and stuff. A lot of funk tracks, you know, like heavy funk bass lines and stuff. You know, they had a little. It was real jazzy, but at the same time, it was really funky. You know, and it was the earlier part of the '90s, which was a different scene at the time than when this came out. But this got put out, and I remember the first thing I ever heard from it was it Ninth Wonder? Yeah, was Ninth Wonder. Yeah, that was the track. That was the name of the track. That was the first video I remember seeing, which was on either Rap City or Yum TV Raps or something. I can't remember what it was, you know. And it was like, okay, they weren't, you know, the baggy pants, that early '90s kind of style, early '90s. They were more, because Digable Planets is a trio from, I believe, Brooklyn. They are from New York, but I believe from Brooklyn. So it was more that, like, roughneck kind of style, you know. So, you know, it was a little different, you know, than what the first album was. This one, to me, was a lot darker, a lot more jazzier. Still had a little bit of funk on it, you know, like the Ninth Wonder one. That had a funk vibe to it. But a lot of these tracks in here are real jazzy, like, but they're really, this album as a whole, not as upbeat as the first one, man. It was a lot, really low tone, you know. But I compare it to, like now, like I said, it's just one of those albums that people seem to like now. Kind of that, like, for me, the Paul's Boutique by Beastie Boys. Like, when it came out, it was cool. People knew about it, but they didn't rush out to get it, kind of thing. Not that I remember, you know. When Paul's Boutique came out, it was like, yeah, you know, Hey Ladies and a couple other tracks, you know, Shake Your Rump, you know, those were the cuts, you know, and a couple other ones, you know, but nobody was like rushing out to buy it, and it was like you didn't hear about it all the time like you did the first album, like License to Ill. You heard about it all the time, every song, you know what I mean? Same thing with this. They had a few videos for it, but it really didn't do much that I remember, not even in the hip-hop community. You know, like, cats knew about it, but didn't really, not like the first one, you know, where you had the Cool Like That became their hit. Then you had, you know, Nickelback's of Funk and a couple of other ones, and some of the other album cuts that became just, you know, normal, just great. I mean, you know, everyone knew them. But again, I love this album. I played it all the time. I had it on CD, tape, bought the album, of course. Wore the crap out of it, man. I personally wore it out myself, but it just, like, yeah, I've seen it lately in spots and like wow, like like people are really digging it. I mean, which is good. It's cool. Like, I mean, it's one of those weird ones. Like, yeah, it wasn't a big hit back in the day, but now it's become a hit. So, 1994, Digable Planets, the second full-length album by Digable Planets, and this is a double album. This was the double vinyl, as you can see there. And this one wasn't that commercially. I don't know. Like, they just didn't make it to be commercialized. As the first one was real funky. Not that they made it to be commercial, but it just had more of a appeal to it to everyone. This was more just like this was for our core hardcore audience. Side one has the first, like, again, you play this album, like me, if you love it that much, you just know it's like one of those things, whenever you put out an album and you hear that opening something, you just get that like, oh yeah, okay, here we go, baby, now it's on. The May 4th movement starring Doodlebug, this album starts off with the horn, and then it's like, boom, ha, one time for your mind, you start getting into the song, and it's just like, but again, it's really low, mellow, really, even the songs are a little more faster, they're a little more mellow, because of the sample, just the whole vibe of it, but I think it's a freaking phenomenal album. May 4th, the movement, then you got Black Ego and Dog It, which to me is like one of the best trio of songs to open most albums. I could just rewind those three and just play it constantly, those three, and just not even listen to the rest of the album. But we'll get to the rest. That's side one. Side two is Jettin', Burrow Check, and High and Fly. And Jettin's cool, Burrow Check. I can't remember which. There's a song in here. It might be Bro Check, and I don't remember off the top of my head. But because you do have a song, there is a song featuring J. Rue the Damager, and then another one's featuring Guru from Gangstar. I just don't remember which is which. Sorry. But High and Fly, that is the coolest little beat. That's one of my favorite tracks on the album, and it sucks because it's only a minute and a half, and it fades in. As it fades in, he starts rapping. When he's done, after he's done rapping, it breaks down to just bongos, and then the beat kicks back in, but it starts to fade out, so you can never get a good, like, I couldn't get a good place to loop it at all, man. But it's a jamming beat, man. Boom, boo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, man, that's just a fucking great beat. I love it. Then you got Dial 7. Dial 7, like more that spy thing. It's just like a spy song. I think that's what the video was too, right? It's Axioms of Creamy Spies. Yeah, Dial 7, great song. I believe had the I think there was a single for that. That was the first album, the first record. Second record, side 3, starts with The Art of Easing. Then you had KB's Alley, Graffiti, and Blowing Down. I believe Graffiti was one of the songs that had featuring one of the I think that's the one with J. Rue. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the one with J. Rue on it. The Blowing Down. The side 4 had Ninth Wonder, and then four corners, FOR, Four Corners. Again, Ninth Wonder was the first thing I remember coming off this album. They had a video for it and a single out, 12-inch for that one. And then he also had I think Dial 7 had one that was also on 45 too, if I remember correct. And there was another single. Then one of the singles actually had a song called Dedication, which was B-side only, so it was never on the album, but it was on the B-side. I can't remember which one it was. Sorry, it's too much My brain's mush. But yeah, you got. I mean, it's the same group as the first on the first album. Got Mecca, Ladybug, the Doodlebug, and jeez, man, I can never remember his damn name. But yeah, there's nothing else that came in here. Where's I remember? Yeah, no, that was it, Jack. That's all you get. So again, 1994. Blowout Comb by Digable Planets, trio from Brooklyn. This was the second album. First one, real little, real lively. A lot of funky funk sampling in there. This one, I think, is just as good personally. It's just a different vibe. It's a whole different vibe. It's more mellower, more jazzier, but still funky. Still has some tracks that are straight funk. But a lot more jazz to it on this one. But still, I and I'm glad people are checking it out now. Yeah, I think it sucks that they did it then, or it didn't seem like it got as popular back then that even the first one did. But still a great record. For anyone that doesn't know Digable Planets, I would say get the first one first. Again, probably more appealing to the masses. Easier to stomach than this one. This one's a little more hardcore, a lot of jazzy, a lot of more. The rhyming is a little different. They're still way out there, man. They're still a bunch. Even though the first one was kind of psychedelic, man. They were kind of like adding that like funk, psychedelic, just love peace type of thing. Lyrics kind of, and sounding. This one was more just like hardcore hip hop, but I'm in my jazz mode, roughneck kind of jazz thing. A lot of groups went through at the time, but I loved it personally. One of my top albums, man. This is a great album. Between this and the first one, I don't know. It's hard for me because I love them both, and they're both two different albums. Put it that way, man. Still good as one's as good as the other, but they're two different albums. Right? So go check them out, man. Go check it out for yourself. For what's on the Slab and MoonKILL Radio. If you have anything for us, hit us up in the comment section. You have any comments on this? Like I said, criticisms, everything, suggestions, or whatever your thoughts on this album is, man. You know what I mean? Or you can hit us up. Check out our Gmail. Check out all the rest of our videos and stuff. All right? MoonKILL Radio. What's on the Slab? Be back with another one.